Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, this is a very big blow to the US hegemony, and that is Brazil and Venezuela are conspiring to oppose the big master. Now, Brazil is already on the other side, being in BRICS, and not being with the United States of America since they have Lula being a leftist. I call him a communist because he has big tendencies towards that, and he was running around with communists all his life. So anyway, and you have here Maduro of Venezuela, and Venezuela just announced that it wants to join BRICS. Brazil, India, China, Russia, and South Africa. The developing economies, little branch on this planet. And that is, I think, the foundation of the new pole, the one you have United States. Now these guys are building their own. So we have a multipolar world. Diversity is our strength. That's one. The other one, Maduro visits Lula in Brazil. Again, I have two articles here. Let me show you just the titles and then we discuss. Venezuela's Maduro visits Brazil in a blow to US strategy of isolation. Bloomberg. And then we have this one right here. Venezuela wants to become part of BRICS. So these are two blows, real bad. And this, I think, may show how things are, how people get together. How sometimes people say, well, do you think that the rich people on this planet, they got together in a room and they discussed how to, to be the master of this planet? Or do you think these countries got together and they discussed? Not necessary. And I always say it's about, or big corporations, they got together and or the banking system just conspired. No, I don't think it's, it could be, but I don't think that's the main, way they cooperate. They cooperate through interest. Common interest, and they might not like one another, but the interest gets them together towards the same goals for a while, and then when they reach the goal, they're going to be at each other's throat like before. So in this case, you have Maduro, Venezuela, and you have Brazil. Now, it's not like, oh my God, these guys are building the second club over there. Not necessary. I think they're running away from the common, I don't want to say enemy, but I could say enemy, which is for them, perceived by some of them, the United States of America. So that common interest makes them join forces. It's not that Maduro and Lula love one another just because. Lula spoke with Putin and with Xi Jinping and say, well, you're going to give this to the Americans. No, it's the interest. They don't want to be under these guys' hegemony, and these guys are forming a new independent club from the plantation. So therefore, they run away and say, hey, maybe if we get together, these guys cannot really attack us at will, including the fact that some of these countries have nuclear weapons and big economies, if you know what I mean, and big resources. So Venezuela, unsurprisingly, made this step to join BRICS. Saudi Arabia joins BRICS, and Lula is already there. Lula being a, communist, as I like to say, and I think I'm not far away at all from what he actually is. He doesn't like capitalism, and the United States was the biggest promoter of capitalism through dealings, through this kind of, and all that. I don't have to go over that. So let's read this first article here, where Venezuela wants to become part of BRICS. Venezuela would like to become part of the BRICS as the association forms a new world order, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said on Monday, and I'm quoting, if they ask Venezuela whether we want to join the BRICS at some point, Venezuela says yes, we would like to be part of the BRICS and take part in the construction of this new architecture and global policy, end quote, Maduro said at a press conference following his meeting with Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. So BRICS, formed by 5 powerful countries, is transforming into a big magnet for those who want another world based on peace and cooperation, the president added. Brazilian President Inácio Lula da Silva said on Monday that he is in favor of the possibility of Venezuela joining BRICS. And I'm quoting, "If you ask what I think, then I will tell you that I'm in favor of this," Lula said in a press conference following his meeting with Maduro, answering a relevant question. At the same time, such initiatives should be coordinated by all countries, Lula added. Yes, and all countries are ready to do it. So this is the visit on the 29th, and the other article was, I think, from, where is it? 20 hours ago, so that is again 29th. Nevertheless, if Venezuela, I think I was reading with my little face here. So if Venezuela joins BRICS, then a lot of resources will go on the other side. Not only resources, but the possibility of some deployments, if you know what I mean. I'm waiting for other countries to allow Russian military to have weapons on their territory, like Cuba and Nicaragua. This would be the first 2 that I'm waiting. Okay, Venezuela could be, but Venezuela has a bigger weapon, which is resources. The problem is Venezuela is close to the United States of America and far from China and Russia. Therefore, will probably be attacked by these guys in the near future if makes this step. I have, or at least a little coup d'etat, pop right there, a regime change, because that's the way these guys work. Threats, blackmail, regime change, and then attack. Boom. This is the escalation little rule for them. They don't know how to negotiate or use diplomacy anymore. As I said many times, they have a toolbox with 4 tools in it. First, threats that don't work. Threats, blackmail doesn't work. Blackmail, regime change, spontaneous revolutions and peace and blah blah blah. And if that doesn't work, we're gonna have a little pop. You saw Turkey, or you saw Ukraine. You can go. The list is longer than that. So Maduro, he's young. He's not like Lula, 76 or 76, 78, 77. I think 76. And he has a long time, so to stay in power, if he's not going to be toppled by forces of democracy. Well, we'll see. Saudi Arabia joins BRICS again. That's another blow. I'm going to cover that in a future video, which I think that's also very important. Iran wants to join. Argentina wants to join. There are many other countries that want to join. Turkey wants to join, and they also want to join the Shanghai Cooperation organization. That's another one. They're running away from the master, and the master doesn't have enough threats and blackmails to spread around to keep them in. Hungary is gonna probably move away, and many other countries in Europe that really don't like this kind of plantation style cooperation, So we'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.